Over 2 decades ago, there was once a hot young blonde and a charming, handsome young man. Both were born in the city, and although they have parents who had been on ranches growing up or farms, they had no anticipation of the vast landscapes or of the difficulties of owning land or livestock. At one point in time, the charming debonair husband got an idea, and that was to own a lot of land. His hot blonde wife wasn't too sure about that. Nevertheless, they embarked on the journey of owning land and bought a piece of Texas for themselves. At the time, they were living in a big city in Texas and knew that this would require moving away out into the rural counties out east. They had to figure what they could raise that would allow them to be able to own this property when they were not there. The ideal choice was buffalo or bison. They assessed quickly what they needed in terms of property. How much property? How big? Where would the location be? How accessible was it? They then assessed what could they get? What knowledge did they have of ranching? What knowledge did they have of the animals? What kind of connections did they have? Do they have a mentor, somebody who could share with them the knowledge that they gained over the years? How much time do they have to devote to it? And also, what kind of manpower? In general, what kind of resources is truly available to this couple? After looking at the things that you really want, the reality of how much money you have really comes to play. Is there enough money to do what you need to do, to buy what you need to buy? Is the value of your money liquid? Can you get access to it? Can you use it quickly and at any time? They were told as a couple that it would take 7 years for a ranch to become successful. But did that apply when you had to build the entire ranch at the same time as working with the animals? A lot of questions remained. And ultimately, the decision was made, how can we supplement the income from another source while still maintaining and building a ranch? The young couple definitely knows that having the correct equipment can make the job so much easier and so much possible. Having good and correct equipment will allow you to use your time better. Having the correct tools for the job means that things can get done maybe more efficiently. And at sometimes, can you even get it done? Obviously, money is required to buy equipment. And so you got to learn to do with what you've got. But equipment is definitely important when starting a ranch. As the young couple embarked on their journey and purchased land, assessed their resources, and continued on this vision of owning a bison ranch, many people gave the old adages and cautions of don't put the cart before the horse, or don't spend more money than you make, while also giving the encouragement of follow your gut. Go where you are led to go if you're the faithful type, or where there is a will, there is always a way. And naturally, I believe in all of those sayings. But you have to ask yourself, just because you have a dream and the resources and the equipment, even the money that goes along with it, will your ranch be successful, no matter how many of these old sayings that people tell you about? So where does that leave us now? Well, it leaves me sitting here in front of my computer screens, my bank of 4 computers with a background that gives me brownie points with my wife. We're here because I often sit here in front of my Excel spreadsheets, calculating data, making sure things are going good. Efficiencies to how much are we feeding, how much money are we spending, all that kind of stuff. What I've just given you is kind of an outline of stuff that people tell you that you need when you start an endeavor, like ranching. Do you have the dream? Do you have the resources? Do you have the money? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have all of these just different things like equipment? And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't have everything. We need a little bit of help in certain areas, and that's fine. As most of you know, I'm a patent attorney. I work with a lot of people who do things where they come up with an invention and they want to get out there and get something going and make a bunch of money. And that's great and all, but my experience in working with individuals and others, and especially even doing some businesses, is that it isn't just those 4 things of a dream. It isn't just money, equipment, and resources. If you lack in any one of those 4 things, it can always be compensated for. If you lack in resources, you can always find other people to pool some stuff together. If you always lack money, you can find investors perhaps. If you lack equipment, you can always go buy it perhaps. There's always ways around it. But there's one part of all of these things, whether it be a ranch or an endeavor, that if you're short on, it's just never going to work out. And people want the easy way. They call me up and say, hey, Jeff, I want to go ahead and get a patent on this, and I want it to just work and make tons of money. Is there somebody I can just go to? Like they want to go to Walmart or something and just all of a sudden put it on a shelf and it makes tons of money. It doesn't. And that's because it takes this one thing that covers everything else. And so this one thing kept popping in my mind the last month or so. And I remember that there's a story that was shown to me a number of years back, and it's just been coming back to me and just been on my mind more and more, especially as I go over the data on the computers. I want to share that with you guys. It's a 4-minute clip. I will tell you that it is a church member who does that. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm sure all of you guys have clued into that by now. And it's one of the leaders of the church just expressing a memory he had of his dad and a life lesson. That's it. No Bible scriptures, no nothing. Just, it's a really great clip. And I think it explains that one key thing that you really kind of have to have if you're going to be successful. So anyway, catch it now, do a watch of it, and I'll catch you on the backside of it.
There are times when the only way to get from A to C is by way of B. Having grown up in southern Utah and enjoying all the wonders and beauties of southern Utah and northern Arizona, I wanted to introduce my son to that, and I wanted to show him places that I had seen and enjoyed when I was his age. So his mother packed a little lunch for us, and we took his grandfather's pickup truck and headed south onto what we call the old Arizona Strip. Noting that the sun was going down, we decided we better get back. But we came back to a particular fork in the road, really the only one that at that point was absolutely unrecognizable. I asked my son to pray about which road to take, and he felt strongly that we should go to the right, and I did as well, and we went to the right, and it was a dead end. We went 400 or 500 or 600 yards, and it was an absolute dead end, clearly the wrong road. Turned around, came back out, took the other road, and clearly the road to the left was the correct road. But somewhere along the way, Matt said, "Dad, why did we feel, after praying about it, that the right road was the proper one to take, the correct one to take, and it wasn't?" And I said, I think that the Lord, his wish for us there, and his answer to our prayer was to get us on the right road as quickly as possible, with some reassurance, with some understanding that we were on the right road and we didn't have to worry about it. And in this case, the easiest way to do that was to let us go 400 yards or 500 yards on the wrong road, and very quickly know, without a doubt, that it was the wrong road, and therefore, with equal certainty, with equal conviction, that the other one was the right road. I have absolute, certain knowledge, perfect knowledge, that God loves us. He is good. He is our Father. And he expects us to pray and trust and be believing and not give up and not panic and not retreat and not jump ship when something doesn't seem to be going just right. We stay in, we keep working, we keep believing, keep trusting, following that same path, and we will live to fall in his arms and feel his embrace and hear him say, I told you it'd be okay. I told you it'd be all right.
I've actually really liked that, and it kept, as I said, popping into my head. When you're doing any endeavor, there's always frustrations, there's always struggles, there's always things that you're gonna be short on: equipment, money, resources. Maybe your vision gets a little blurred and you're not sure where to go anymore and you seek help. It is always gonna happen. But it's the people who have the ability to take some sort of obstruction or difficulty and kind of spin it and reassess and reevaluate and make a change that are actually the ones that are successful with it. And so this story to me was just really nice. It helps me remember that sometimes we may feel led to go down a certain path, but it does not guarantee that that path is going to be clear of any kind of difficulties, trials, hardships, or struggles, right? You have to then just mold with that. And sometimes you figure out, well, maybe the path I thought I should have gone down, it's the other path. It all gets you where you wanted to go originally, but maybe you got to shift and change. So where does that leave us right now? Well, like I said, I sit in front of this computer, all the Excel spreadsheets, going through data and everything and assessing where we're at. And sometimes you need to make a change. So we're going to be making a few little changes. We're going to be modifying some things for the health of the ranch. And we're going to be sharing with you in the next videos or so, in the next few months, kind of just all those little things that we're kind of modifying. Some things may be related to videos. Maybe we only do a video once a week. Maybe we do it twice a week. I don't know. Maybe we get rid of some animals. Maybe it's just a number of animals instead of all the animals. You know, I don't know. But schedules are going to modify. We're going to kind of change some things at the ranch, and we're going to keep you apprised of it. So stick with us. I hope you remember these things that we've talked about today. The fact that it isn't just your dream, guys. The key factor is you. Can you adjust to the difficulties of what we're doing in your dream and make modifications? You are the key to making it all successful. Everything else can be sorted out if you can adjust to it and do what you need to do and overcome. So I think this was a little bit different than normal videos. This is my fullest creativity. I'm an engineer and I'm a lawyer, man. This is about as deep as I get with creativity right now. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time. We'll keep you apprised. All right. So we'll see you next time. Blackacre Ranch. Bye.